to handle success, particularly going against a team that is really good?
I don't. What I'm focused on, honestly, every week is purely the mindset of the team and the level of the preparation. So, and truthfully, you can have a good result and have poor process. And there were elements of that last week. I felt like, particularly on defense, where earlier in the week I sensed there to be not the sense of urgency or the attention to detail that we needed. And so to me, it's just not about 3-1, and it's just not about Alabama. To me, it's about our growth as a program and a relentless focus on how we're pulling learning forward. And so you're constantly looking at, what is the learning from Saturday? How do we address shortcomings, and then how do we build this into what we know it can be over time? And all we're doing this week is just trying to take the next step in that process.
Injury updates. Do you have any, further updates on Rocco or Xavier Castillo or Ben Cox or any of the other people that were out?
Xavier's not going to be available this week. Rocco has had a good week in preparation. I would still have him as questionable for Saturday, but I feel good about what I've seen to this point. So questionable but hopeful, Ben Cox was able to get out and move around today, and still questionable for Saturday, but again, I think took steps in the positive direction today. Jalen Mahoney is questionable to doubtful, so we're going to obviously give that time. He's not ruled out. He'll be with us, but still need to see some improvement there to feel good about having him out. I don't know if there's anybody else, but those were the main ones, I think.
Could you see, when Xavier comes back, could you see him playing left guard? And I know he's only played right guard at least once the season started in addition to center.
Yeah, what Blas has done with that group is he's created an ability to get the best five out there. And so certainly we feel like those guard positions can be interchangeable. It takes work, but X is smart, and that's something that we could do for sure.
This should have been a preseason question, but who actually calls the plays on defense? Is it Nick Howell, or do you call the plays?
No, Coach Howell handles that. He handles all the plan and prep and all the calling of the defense. And my role, and it's really honestly the role I play on both sides, is just to give feedback and thought and help to adjust as we go.
I feel like the third quarter against NIU was just such a stark difference like that. Anthony said that he thinks the team just locked in and decided to play better, but were there adjustments to calling the game? I mean, it was just the difference was truly massive.
There were Coach Howell and the staff make adjustments, and that probably obviously what you want the game to look like is it's the micro of the macro progress as a program that you pull forward each week. In the game, you're just taking that and isolating it over 4 quarters, and you're trying to build progress over 4. I felt like some of that shift in performance was making the first stop. And once we made the first stop, we had this confidence that grew. There were adjustments made. And I think early on, deficiency, particularly on the first drive, was not about poor calls. It was about execution and the finishing of plays, particularly the 2 that the quarterback extended and he was able to find routes in the flat or routes that were running behind the defense. So all that to say, there's a lot of factors there. I think sometimes it's easy to say that the calls shifted, and sometimes as coaches you get a lot of credit for shifting the calls when in actuality maybe you did a better job of distilling the learning in the moment so that they were executing it better. And certainly there are times where there's shift in tactics that are helpful.
I showed the team the comment from the Hawaii staffer who said Vanderbilt's not going to know what's coming. In a game like this, do you show them score predictions and stuff like that as a way to motivate them? I mean, when you're a 40-point underdog.
We don't focus on that. The Hawaii game was just there was a lot in handling that trip. There was a lot in keeping attention focused.
Yeah.
And particularly coming out of a summer and fall camp into that week where you just as you travel to paradise, you're trying to keep the team dialed in, and so to use that in that moment was a way to make sure that they understood that we had to earn respect while we were there too. Anymore those are more gimmicks and they're not sustainable. We don't spend a lot of time on external opinion or thought. Again, for us, it's about what we're creating together, and so our focus is on us, and that includes in my messaging to the team in the week. I don't. We talk about Alabama or whoever the opponent is when we're talking about building our strategies, but when we talk about performance, it's what we're looking to do is bring our identity every Saturday and bring it for 4 quarters, and and not let anything take us off that mark. And so rather than offload power to the opponent by focusing on the opponent, or offload power to external opinion by focusing on external opinion, we choose to focus purely on what we control.